Does common ground with other beings equate with reality?
Well, common ground implies that there's sameness going on there to a certain degree, relative to whatever common ground means to you, whatever would be common to you, and whatever of what could be common to you could be considered a ground between yourself and the other. So it's a possibility. So it does create something. We don't know to what extent it creates that something. It could create something that begins well and ends who knows where. It could be something that begins who knows where and then ends well. We don't know. And the issue is, what is the progression of whatever the thing is? What's its evolutionary sort of trajectory? Which direction is it going to go in? People don't know. Is it going high? Is it going low? Is it going up against the wall? Is it going in the water? Is it going to, who knows? Going to hell? Going to heaven? Right? Or hell? Heaven? Who knows? See? So that's the gamble everybody takes, even when they have common ground, so-called. So what does that mean? We can start a conversation? Where's it supposed to go? Is the conversation supposed to reveal everything because it starts a little thing? See? Right, so conversation is like, in the beginning, if you're talking about meeting and determining reality, it's like sticking the key in the door. So then you turn it, then you put your hand on the knob, if you have a knob, right? Or door handle. And then you press down on it and start to open the door, and you hope for the best. When you start asking people to share their minds, for better and for worse, or their darkness, for better and for worse, you don't really know what you're at risk to receive from anybody. You hope for the best, unless you're talking about people you know and you trust, and you have a sense of what their reality is already. Could be philosophic reality that you have in common, could be a musical reality that you have in common, could be a darkness reality that you have in common. Same fears. You want to make sure you're not capitalizing on fear, which you don't need, and you don't need the karma of fear unless it's something you have to fear in order to know how to get rid of it. See? So fears are good as long as you know they are supposed to be recognized in order to be undone to clear your path. You know. Let's follow up?
Yeah. So does shared reality form a basis then?
Obviously, but we don't know to what. So we think, okay, we just met, we formed a basis. We know each other for 1 minute now. We have a basis. What the hell does that promise anybody? A 1 minute basis don't mean a thing. It means you didn't kill each other within the 1 minute. It doesn't mean a thing. So now, after years, people, in their communication or interacting with certain beings, form a basis of friendship, which, is not necessarily coming like in a snap. Right? The contact is made in a snap. That doesn't mean there's a basis, really. The basis for what? Right? You see two people crossing the street together or meeting as they cross the street and pass each other by like two ships in the night, as they say, and they look, they like what they see, right? And the eyes are twinkling, right? The ears are twinkling, the ears are up, the ego is up, the hairs are standing up, right? Everything is like marvelous for 2 seconds. You like what you see. There's no basis. This is what you see is not what you got to live with. It's not what you have to hear, right? You don't have to hear what you see. You're looking at it, but that doesn't mean you know what's coming from that being. You don't know what's in their head or their heart, which is the question of like superficial racial sort of definition and description and paranoia. What, paranoia because of skin? You got a psychological issue there. You need some right pills. The God can take many forms. The God has created all forms. So what are you talking about? We're fearing one color or two colors, fearing any color. There's no color to fear except your face. your ego, your mask, that's what you should fear for what that could create if you're on the dark side or if you're on the light side. So appearances form the basis, they form the reality, right? And they form what is created. Appearances, and that means superficiality. So that's dangerous. Come in.
So then the shared reality could be instant conflict. Where an agreement,
Exactly.
an
Could be the
agreement on
worst
conflict.
case.
Yeah.
One meets its enemy. Right? And during the Vietnam War, I would have these dreams of the enemy meeting friends, right, in the jungle. So what happens if you meet a reincarnated brother who's on the other side? Right? What if the woman you just shot accidentally or deliberately was a relative of yours? How do you know? How can you not know that who you're killing is hurting somebody, so to speak? War is one. The rules are different from what people ordinarily agree to as their reality, their basis, see, and what's real, see, for anybody.